Welcome. Today I'm replacing the passenger side CV axle on this 2005 BMW 325xi wagon. I'm replacing it because the inner CV boot was torn and grease was coming out. So first thing you got to do is get the nut off the wheel axle here, and it's pinched down on both sides. So you got to bend those back out. It takes a 36 millimeter 12-point socket to fit on there. And unless you got a really good impact gun, I suggest doing this with a breaker bar while the vehicle's still on the ground so that you can actually loosen it without the wheel spinning. Once you get that loose and the lugs a little bit loose, then lift the car up off the ground, put some jack stands under it, lower it back down, finish taking the wheel off. Also replacing the control arm on this side, the lower control arm, but that's in a different video that you can see, and I'll link it. But just so you know, with the control arm removed, it makes it a little bit easier to do the CV axle. So if you're not doing the control arm, you might want to undo the outer ball joint for your control arm just to get more flexibility in the axle itself. So next thing I gotta do is knock the axle in. This is the outer end of the CV axle. I'm gonna knock that in to get it away from the wheel hub and rotor. And see the flexibility. You can see the control arm is missing there, which definitely helps. And now I can just pull this end out. Right back there, that metal bracket there, that's the end of it, and that's gotta come out. So I gotta either bang it back there, or I can try pull this thing forward and see if it'll come loose. There she goes. What? Rip the box. That's half of it. There we go. As the engine turns and the transmission turns, this end goes into the transmission. And as it turns, it brings power out to your wheel. And this allows your wheel to turn while it's still getting power. This is where the boot tore off here. You've got these fancy bearings here. It's called the tripod. These guys come off. But anyway, that one just those go into, there's a channel in here, and each of them slides into its own channel. And once it's in there, then this can turn as well. There's these three channels that those tripod bearings go into. The boot keeps it all clean. In the new one, everything is sealed inside these boots with grease, and that's where you see all the grease spills out. and then dirt gets up in there, and then your bearings wear, and then it's toast. And that's why, for me, I think it's easier just to replace this whole axle, because to replace these, you still got to take the whole assembly out, and then you're taking it out, putting new boots on, putting new grease in, hoping that the bearings are still good, and then your labor costs are going to be the same. So yeah, when this goes in, this little spring clip here will engage on the inside and lock it into place. So that's the hardest part about installing the new one, is you get this thing in 99% of the way, and then you've got about a quarter-inch gap there for this to go in the rest of the way. You got to wiggle and knock it. And some of these have a ledge on here. It gives you something to put a chisel in so you can tap it and get it in there. This one didn't have that, and you can't hit on this because it's thin metal. So that's, as you do that, I guess, I mean, all you're doing is whacking this end against the metal on the bottom of this. So I don't really see a problem with that. It's the boot's getting compressed, but it should be able to handle that. So we'll wiggle and jiggle and give it a little few knocks and see where we end up. The other thing I wanted to show, this is the outer boot on the CBI, so you can see it's torn, and there's still grease in there, but that's what was coming out all over the rims. Bearings in there, and those get dirt in them, and then she doesn't want to turn anymore. So what I did off camera was clean this. There's a seal there, and I wanted to make sure I got all the dirt off it and check the condition of it, and it's no issues with it. It's nice and clean. Okay, let's bring her back. Okay, I brought my hydraulic jack in. Remember, I said you might need that somewhere else later. I've just got it holding the wheel assembly out of my way so that I can get in here. And I've got this thing started now. And I don't know if you can, where are we here? Oh, there we go. I don't know if you can see. Oh, maybe I can go from underneath. You might have to take my word for it that it's almost there, but not quite there. Maybe from the top. It's not quite all the way there yet. Don't seem to be going any further than that. And I felt it bottom out. I've got it in as far as it's going to go. it's not much different than when I last showed you, but it's bottoming out. I could feel it bottom out, so I'm comfortable with it being where it's at. And next thing I would like to do is put a little bit of anti-seize on the outside spline. A little bit of dirt in the threads there. Must have touched the ground. Don't need that. Okay, so a bit of anti-seize just so it'll come off as easy as it did last time. And you just want it on the spline. Don't don't get it on the threads because you don't want those coming apart. That's good. Jack out of the way. Look. There we go. All right. She's in. And I'm going to leave it like that for now until I get the control arm on, and then I'll tighten everything back down. I'll just put the nut on the end here, but I won't tighten it. There we go. Control arms on and torqued. The CV axle is back in. What's left to do is tighten and torque that guy down, which I can't do till the car's on the ground, but this guy's solved. You can put some anti-seize on a rim, or you can just put it right here. Nothing crazy. It's just so nice when you go to take your wheel off and it actually comes off again. May have already gone past. Oh, there she is. Okay. See how there's just those little indentations in the axle? So you hammer in the nut into those voids so that the thing can't go, it can't loosen off on you. That's the idea. It's gonna be a lot easier to do if I take the wheel back off.